My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Horrible Bosses. Now, I saw this movie back when it came out, and I really loved it. And I hadn't seen it since then, so I decided to revisit it for the first time since then, and I have to say, this movie holds up remarkably well. In fact, it kind of makes me miss comedies a lot more because comedy is definitely a genre that's kind of dying. We're not getting as many comedies now as we used to, and it's a shame because it's one of my favorite genres, and this movie does deliver on the laughs. There was a lot of moments that cracked me up. I will be talking about some of the jokes here, so if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know about any of the jokes going into it, just a heads up. But anyways, some of the jokes that made me laugh out loud was the one scene where Jason Sudeikis puts his boss's toothbrush and razor and his dental floss up his ass, and then later when Colin Farrell character dies, and they're like, just so we know, we're going to do a DNA scan of the place, and then Jason Sudeikis tells the guys what he did earlier. Charlie J's just like,
why would you put his whole bathroom in your house?
That scene cracked me up, and the very presence of Motherfucker Jones in this movie I thought was just great. The story of how he got the name Motherfucker Jones was hilarious, and I just thought Jamie Foxx is so great in this movie. He's not in it much, but he really stands out in it. You've also got one scene where they spill a bunch of cocaine on the floor, so they vacuum it up, and then they take it out of the dustbuster and put it in a strainer trying to get the cocaine back into it. I thought that was a really funny scene. There's a scene where Colin Farrell it looks like he's at a strip club. There's all these strippers in his office and he's just having a great time, and then it just goes to outside his office and everybody's just looking at him inside his office. That was a really funny moment. Kevin Spacey, him giving himself the promotion, and then because he was going to give someone else a different office, he just decides to tear down the wall between the two offices and just gave himself a bigger office. That's just hilarious. It's so over the top and so absurdly evil that I can't help but love it. The scene when they're having a discussion of who'd get raped in jail between the three of them was really funny. And then like Charlie Day saving Kevin Spacey's life, and then Jason Bateman's just like, why would you save the life of the man we're trying to kill? And Charlie Day's just like, I wasn't thinking. I thought that there's a lot of funny moments in this movie. I was cracking up throughout the entire thing. Like I said, Jamie Foxx isn't in this movie much, but he definitely stands out. And that's in a completely stacked cast because everybody's on their A game here. You got a hilarious performance from Colin Farrell as just over-the-top douchebag. Donald Sutherland's in the movie a tiny bit, but he just has a warm presence in the short time he's in it. Jennifer Aniston's really good in this movie, and she plays a totally different kind of character than what we're used to seeing her as, but she does a great job at it. She's really despicable in this movie. And Kevin Spacey, he is really great in this movie as this terrible, evil scumbag of a boss. The storyline of three guys who really hate their bosses make it so there's a relatable factor in this movie, and just the fact that they go out and try to kill them just adds an over-the-top absurdity element to it, to the point where everyone can be like, oh yeah, I felt this way, but then you still get an over-the-top factor in the plot that just allows the movie to stand out. And I think the three main cast members are all really great in this movie. Jason Bateman is one of the best comedic actors of all time, if you ask me. He's so perfect as a straight man, and that's definitely the case here. Jason Sudeikis is really great in this movie, and Charlie Day just brings this huge amount of energy to this movie, and the three of them together and the banter among them, they feel like three actual friends. So yeah, like just the entire cast in this movie is fantastic. It's a really funny movie. It's entertaining. My only real big issues is some of the writing and how convoluted the plot becomes in the latter half of the movie, with Kevin Spacey killing Colin Farrell, and then because of that, the three guys are getting investigated by the cops, so then they try to get Kevin Spacey to admit that he killed the guy, and then Kevin Spacey goes and chases them. At an eventual point, it loses the simplicity that we really loved in this movie, but still entertaining. It just becomes a bit more messier, and the way that they catch Kevin Spacey and get him arrested of, oh, I just happened to be recording this the entire time, and then that doesn't work, and then the car's like, oh, I've been recording this the entire time. You don't really buy. So the writing issues aside, I have a great time with it. I'm gonna go ahead and give Horrible Bosses an 8 out of 10. Okay, have you seen horrible bosses? Did you ever have a horrible boss? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.